Welcome to my YouTube channel Unity 3D tutorial. I am Vijay. Today I am going to teach you how you can save the data into JSON file and how you can retrieve those data from the JSON file. So this is my tutorial for the JSON, and this is my registration page as you can see, and let's start. And I'm running this game, and this is my first time application is launched, so there's no data into JSON file and there is no JSON is created. So when I click on this user list, so there is no data because I did not store any kind of data. So let's register some user, and I will create some user like my name is Vijay, so I can write so vijay@gmail.com, something like that, and password is like 12345 6 something, and user is created. So user added successfully, it sent the message and this password field is clear, and you can see this JSON is saved, user detail list, and this username Vijay and password is this and email, something like that. And once you click on this user detail list, and you will see this the user is created and it is displaying into this list. Okay, and let's create one more user, John, and john@gmail.com, something like that, password 30, and this user is added. You will see this another user is added into this JSON file and I stored this. So I will show you what kind of JSON is created. We'll see, and this is my previous JSON structure file, and you will see this Vijay and John, this two information is stored into this user detail list. So we'll see user detail list. So let's run it again, and you will see there's those data is actually saved into JSON or not, because if it is not saved, there will be no user will be display, and if it is saved, so it will display. So you will see that this two users is coming, which is locally stored into my persistent data path. Yeah, how I did that I will explain you each and everything from scratch. Yeah, so let's as you can see, this is my register page, and there's a on this register page there is a one button, and I'm calling some method from here, user registration. This is attached script is attached on this UI handler object, and there is a registration scripts. So inside there is a script, there is a one function I created, a registration, user registration, and in this functions what I'm doing, I'm storing those text input field data into this user detail object. This user detail class I created, this is entity class which I created, and I'm storing those data into this variable, username, password, email, and this is serializable. I created this class is a serializable because it will store the JSON information and retrieve the JSON, retrieve the object from the JSON. So so this data is stored into this object, and I cleared this all text field and displayed the message to the user added successfully. And now it's coming to the point how you can store those data into JSON format, JSON file format. So I created one singleton class, user detail data. So this class is basically store the JSON file, JSON data into the JSON file, and retrieve those JSON data from the JSON file. So it is a singleton class. I taken the singleton class because I don't want to create another object of this class, and this class can be called from from the life cycle of this Unity project. Okay, so and in this class there is one method I created, add user detail, where I'm passing this user detail object. Okay, so I have to store this data. So inside that, yeah, I will explain you later. First I will explain how I'm storing the data. So as you see, this data is stored into this user detail list array. So this is a JSON file format. So JSON is basically store data into key value pair. Okay, so this is the user detail list is a key which has a kind of array. This bracket, angular bracket, start and here and it here, and store the list of element. So it store the list of element like user details. This is one user, this is second user. So user name is a key and this is a value, password is a key and this is a password value, and email, all these things. So there is one more another class which I created, which is store the list of users. As you can see, this is the list of users here. So it basically store the list of users, and this is a constructor of this class, user detail list class constructor. Whenever we'll create an object of this class, this constructor will call, and this variable will be initialized. Okay, so let's start. Let's check it. What is happening into this? So this is a singleton class, user detail data class. So in this is the public method of this singleton class. I'm getting the instance of this class, and if instance is null, so it will create an instance of that class. So this is constructor of this user detail class. Whenever the object will be create of this class, it will initialize all this data. So inside this class, I'm initializing this user detail list at very first time, because I will store the data and retrieve from this user detail list class. Okay, only one time I had to create this object of this class, user detail list, throughout the project type cycle. Okay, I don't want to again and again initialize this class. Okay, so once the object of this class will create, it will initialize my user detail list, and this object will be created here. Then I can retrieve from this this class. Okay, so this object is created, user detail list, and inside that user detail list this is a variable of list type, user detail list type, and it will when we are adding new user, it will add into the list. Okay, add user detail object into the list of users. So this is a list, user detail list. Okay, so it will store. So finally I will get this user detail list class. Unity provide me one functions to create a JSON. So Unity JSON JSON utility is a class which has a function to JSON. We have to pass this object of this class. The object of which class? This class, user detail list, because we are storing the list of users in this format only. Okay, we are not storing only single user, we are storing a list of users. Okay, and because we will show the list of users in the scroll view. Okay, I will show you. So here we want the list of users, that's why. Okay, so it will store the list of users, and we had to generate the JSON in this format only. where the list of users will be displayed. Okay, and yeah, so JSON utility, let's go into the definition of this class. This to JSON, and it will return the string, and it take the object type. So here you can pass any kind of object, whatever is your requirement. Let's suppose you are creating a game where you want to store the player health and the player score and all these things. So you can create your own class, and the list of uh, the another class which will hold the list of your class object. So you can do that according to your requirement. Okay, so it will return the user detail JSON. So once I will get the user detail JSON in the log, you can see that here I'm getting the JSON, and I had to store it into persistent data path. That is my local directory of this project. So in Unity, how you can save that data into persistent data path? I had one file name user detail.json, and this is a file path application.persistent data path, and append is the file name of this user detail. So it will give the complete path of that file. So file.write all text, we are storing all the text. Okay, that's why I'm calling write all text. And where it will be stored? It will store into persistent data path. And what information will be stored? Whatever the information we will get from the JSON utility from by to JSON method. Okay, it will store this kind of information. Okay, so once you store this information, you have to retrieve back, because we have to display to the user. Okay, for that, what I'm doing for this button, I'm calling another method from here, registration.cs. We have another method, display user detail list. So it will clear prefab and show the panel. Already I explained into my last tutorial. I will mention the link of that tutorial into this video. And yeah, so once you store, you have to retrieve back. Okay, so this method is implementation of that. First, it will check that file is exist or not. If exist, then read the data from that file path. File.read all text, it will return the text. Okay, so you will get this JSON information into this variable JSON data. Once you retrieve JSON, you have to convert into that object. What kind of object is user detail list? Because we want to show the list of users. Okay, so JSON utility from JSON is a method which is taking the class type, which type of class you want to get the object from this JSON. So this JSON file for have this information, user detail list. This is a key which we want to retrieve. Here you can see that this is a key, this is a variable name. It should be similar, like, otherwise it will not pass. If this name will be changed, like suppose if it is underscore or something, it will not pass correctly. So you have to take care of it. Okay, whatever the informations you are retrieving, that entity class should be same. Okay, it will hold all the variable names should be similar with your JSON key. If this name will be changed here and this name will be differ, then you will not get the right information. Okay, the mapping will be not relevant. Okay, Okay. So JSON utility dot from JSON, you have to pass this JSON of structure and the object, the class which you want to retrieve. Okay, so it will return the object of this class type. Okay, so once you have the list of users, you can iterate from here. I will iterate all this object. So user detail list dot user detail list. Okay, user detail object, I'm running this for each loop, and I will retrieve all the users which is into this list. Okay, so this code is already explained in my last tutorial. Okay, so we had to show the the UI objects into the scroll, and you can see that. So this is a user name Vijay John, and this is a prefab which I'm cloning at runtime. Of which type of game object? It's a user detail view class, and I'm creating an object of this class. And at runtime I'm setting and updating the information into of this object, and this is already explained in my last tutorial. So how it is going to be update. Okay, I'm calling this update user detail method here, and setting this text, so it will set the text. Okay, so once this object is created, and it will be child of the scroll view content, and the scroll will be created. Okay, so thanks for watching my video, and please comment if you have any doubt. Like, share and subscribe my channel, so I will create a lot of video for you. Thank you for watching.